And our special guest tonight helping us kick off our, ninth season. We're getting so old in this podcast game. It's the one and only stand-up comedian. He's got a new album out. The CD's out now before turning the gun on himself. The special just aired on Showtime, and I believe the DVD comes out in November. It's Doug Stanhope. What's up, Doug?
What constitutes a podcast season?
Well, we kind of do it like a TV season. We'll do it until we get, until the ratings drop, and then we take a break and then start a few weeks later.
Or we get bored.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Or we
you
fight.
Just make up your own seasons. It's February through June is podcast season. New thing that you can just make up your own rules.
We like to call ourselves craft radio instead of podcast. It's because it sounds fancy.
Yeah.
It means nothing, but
I like it.
Congrats on the new special, man. I really enjoyed it. First thing I want to know is, are you getting any feedback from Dr. Drew yet?
No, I don't expect to. But I do implore people to, keep shoving it in his Twitter.
Do you expect he'll just, try and take the doctorial high road and just not even respond to it whatsoever?
Yeah, I'm not well known enough that he'd have to respond to it. And if he did, he'd do it in some snarky, shitty, fake doctor way.
So I know you're not a huge fan of your older specials, and I've heard you say on podcasts and stuff that there's not much left for you to say, but you definitely came out with it seemed like a renewed fire in the belly for this one, almost along the lines of a given up fire in the belly.
Yeah, I'm always in the process of giving up or going, I should tape this.
You're out on tour now. Everybody can check out the tour dates at DougStanhope.com. I know we spoke earlier, and you were looking to find out the cheapest cigarette state, whether it was Tennessee or North Carolina, which leads me to believe you're not in the most awesome of place at this exact moment.
Well, I've been off work for I haven't been on stage till last night for 4 months, so. Yeah, if I'm in shitty places, it's because I can risk burning the bridge. I always start out a tour in a place that I don't need to be back anytime soon. The first night was a fucking blast in Chattanooga, Tennessee, so.
Yeah, it's a lot of weird small towns in the South. There's not many major cities on there.
Yeah. There's a lot of places. Asheville, North Carolina tomorrow, but that's a fucking great town. I've never been to Knoxville before. I haven't been to Savannah before. So it's always good to go to places that, I've done comedy 22 years without them. So if it goes poorly, I don't give a shit.
There's plenty of other cities to go back to that you've never been to, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've always wondered how I could possibly burn myself out. You can't get fired from comedy.
Right.
But if I tried to, there's how many fucking places like Knoxville, Tennessee are there in this country? A lot.
Didn't Michael Richards get fired from comedy?
I think that was a self-imposed exile. I remember seeing him in Aspen in probably I want to say late 90s. It might have been, actually it's probably 2002. Whenever I was there, he was there to do stand-up, and he was freaking out downstairs. He was gonna quit. He was so panicked. I overheard a conversation with him in a back hallway where he's saying, I can't do it. I'm not a stand-up. I'm a comedic actor. And he's just having a meltdown. But he did, in fact, go ahead and do stand-up.
Good decision. Good decision on his part.
Yeah.
Doug, I got to ask you, because I've watched a couple of your specials now, just because I forget which one was on Netflix that I watched first, but it just intrigued me to watch more of them. And I have no idea how your writing process goes. Sometimes you can tell with comedians, they worked on a bit or something, but it just sounds like sometimes you just get up there and just I have an idea, and then that's it, and then it just turns into the philosophical stuff that comes out. How do you even prepare?
Well, lately, I just have I have some form of a set list, and then I just try to riff anything I can off of it and drink heavily, and so my mind goes where it wasn't prepared to go. Without alcohol, I'd fucking be just completely unemployable in this business.
My favorite part of this past special was your urban hooker with a degree from a higher institution. That was phenomenal. I just kept going. It was great.
Yeah, that's why every fucking interview you do with regular press, They just so what can we expect this weekend in Savannah? And you're like, what subjects are you attacking this time? And you can't even explain it, because like, how would you explain that bit?
No.
Well, I'm talking about the economy. Yeah, but it's from a hooker's point of view. Just forget it. Just fucking come to the show. Like, I can either describe it and make it sound boring as shit, or tell you the fucking whole bit.
Yeah.
and ruin it.
Right.
Yeah. And have you transcribe it into a newspaper in a family-friendly way?
Yeah. Nothing makes you sound awful than just fucking than trying to describe yourself.
And there's nothing also worse, I bet, for a comedian when you go on like a radio show or something and they set you up to do one of your bits or something. And
yeah,
you're just
I don't do that anymore.
I don't fucking even do this.
Fortunately, radio went into the shitter so badly that it's not even, it's of no consequence to promote your show because no one's listening to shit anyway.
Right, and that's why we're doing podcasts now.
Yeah.
You can't really localize a podcast, though.
No.
And you don't know when it's going to be aired or when people will listen to it. This is August of 2012. So if I say, I'm going to be in Charlotte on Saturday, and you download this in 3 years because you just found out about it, don't show up in Charlotte on Saturday.
You're talking to us courtesy of, I guess, my buddy JT Habersat, who's another stand-up who I went to college with.
Name dropper.
He'd get mad if I didn't. We always drop really hugely famous stand-up names on our show. That's what we like to do. One sentence will be my buddy JT Habersat, and the other one will be, Christopher Lloyd, who's also been on our show. It's all the same. To
Is
get away
Christopher Lloyd the guy from Taxi?
Yeah.
My cousin did a pilot with him for a sitcom back in the 80s, back when a pilot actually aired, and then they decided afterwards.
Right.
And so when I first moved to L.A., I saw him at the bar at the Improv, Christopher Lloyd, and I said, hey, I didn't mean to bother you, but you did a pilot once with my cousin Grant Forsberg. And he goes, oh. I'm like, how can you do a fucking television show and forget it?
Yeah.
And now I'm him. Now I'm that old drunk guy at the bar that forgets fucking half the things I've done in my career. But I remember it being remarkable.
I'm fascinated with, you live out in Bisbee, you have your own little compound kind of in the middle of nowhere away from, all the Hollywood stuff and everything. And you have these like weekend long parties at your place that, my buddy JT comes out to. Is this like the new, like the underground comedy, like Playboy Mansion that you're developing or what?
It's kind of like that. My friend and tour manager, Greg Chaley, is here. And he just showed me a picture from our 4th of July party that I'd forgotten about, of Christine Levine. She's a Portland comic, fucking phenomenal comic. But we have a picture of her and her 250 pounds of naked splendor on top of my naked girlfriend Bingo on top of a friend of ours on the couch. And I'm like, I gotta learn how to tweet pictures. That's gotta fucking go out. I'm so bad with fucking technology, but I'll just for that picture.
It just seems like the most awesome, just bizarre weekend of depravity and
that is the greatest way to. That is the greatest way to celebrate America's birthday I've ever heard in my entire life. Just naked Bingo with 700 combined pounds on your couch. It's just phenomenal.
God bless America. So I heard you and JT ended up announcing like a minor league baseball game or something during this weekend.
Yeah, that was weird. There's the world's oldest baseball stadium, working baseball stadium, just like a couple blocks from my house, and they have it's not even a rated league, some like make believe league that they do every summer. So we always go down and heckle the shit out of them. But yeah, we had the guy in the booth always plays off of us, so it makes it a ton of fun. And then he had the night off. He was a radio guy that had a live remote, so we took over the reins.
You're in a small town when the baseball PA announcer has to go to a used car lot to hand out hand sanitizer. You can't make the game.
Yeah, and then they have to pull hecklers out of the audience to take his place.
Wow.
Is there an announcer in the house?
Yeah. It's like when someone gets sick on a plane. Worse. That's got to be a friggin' just a blast. Who's the? I know a lot of them are just kind of friends of yours. Some locals and more underground comics from around. Who's anybody ridiculously bizarre show up there? Any celebrity types or anything?
Jake LaMotta came over for football one Sunday.
What?
Yeah, he lives down the street.
Really?
Yeah, he's not really there, but his wife handles him very well.
Oh, wow. That's quite the sentence that you just said. Jake LaMotta came over for football one Sunday. It's a great...
He's got a stick raging bull on.
He didn't seem to really be into the game.
The bells.
That could be...
I don't think he knew where he was.
The most amazing thing ever could be if you perhaps set up a video camera and sat down and watched it and did a commentary with him.
I boxed Tanya Harding on the Man Show.
Right.
And I kept my gloves from the boxing match, and she wouldn't autograph them because she thought, people just going to sell this stuff on eBay, so I won't autograph anything. So I still had them, so I had Jake LaMotta autograph them. Fuck you, Tanya Harding.
Nice.
Another reason to learn how to send pictures on Twitter, because now you could send her a picture of that.
I think someone did. I think they're on my Facebook or something. I don't know. Other people take pictures and put them on my Facebook, but I don't know how to find them.
Your Twitter is actually, for the limited amount of technology you say you know about, your Twitter is actually a great one to follow. You always have some really great stuff, either just attacking somebody who's just being a dick, or you're sticking up for somebody recently like Daniel Tosh and those guys, and it's just great to follow. I love it.
Yeah, at Doug Stanhope. Everyone.
Or I'm on Ambien fucking rambling nonsense. Be a book like shit my dad says. It's things I tweeted on Ambien.
Yeah, you just had like a drunk back and forth with Patton Oswalt like a couple weeks ago about his Montreal speech.
That was fucking amazing.
That was good. I read that.
If you haven't seen it,
I'm gonna reread that sober, because that was like I was standing up like Rocky at my kitchen table, going yes.
Yeah, you should check it out if you haven't. If you're listening, Patton Oswalt did an open letter to the comics, and then an open letter to like the media and the audiences, which was pretty cool. Is that up on Laughspin at all, Mike?
Yes, it is. Actually, that's where I read it.
Yeah, we work with those guys.
Laughspin's pretty badass.
Yeah, I do a show with Dylan, who runs Laughspin. He says he's name dropper. He says hi, by the way.
Right. Name droppers, you guys. Jesus.
People probably, when you're doing interviews, don't go, so what do you want to talk about, Doug? So what do you want to talk about? What's going on with you?
I don't want to talk at all. I was completely blowing you off. I got a call earlier from some people we know from Bisbee that live in Asheville, North Carolina, where we're going to be tomorrow night. So they're just calling up to say they'll be at the show. So then I called back what I thought was her number that she called me from to ask her about where to get cheap cigarettes. What state's the cheapest to haul them back to Arizona? But I called Jay instead, and I just thought it was some dude answering her phone. So I just asked him, "Hey, where's get cheaper cigarettes?" And Jay's like Googling the cheapest cigarettes in the country for me.
Be very helpful. Very helpful.
And
you are, Jay.
I just hung up. I just said, "All right, see you tomorrow." I just dude. And then he texted me. I think he thought you might be talking to someone other than me. I was going to pretend I didn't get the original text where he asked me to do the podcast.
When he told us the story, I thought you were just seeing if we were helpful or not, and if we weren't, you're gonna be like, "Fuck you, I'm not gonna talk to you." But since we helped you out with the cigarettes, I thought, I'm like, all right, they're pretty good guys.
I thought you were just really cool and casual since I was a friend of JT's. Oh, I dropped another name.
Pick that up.
Oh, this is how Doug is. He'll just call people and just ask them for help. I'll do some Googling.
Well, basically, that's what I was doing. I was calling someone else I don't really know that well.
What I was wondering as I was watching your special, Doug, is at the end you're basically talking about hypocrites. It made me think of like you personally, as far as like what's the faggiest thing that you're into that you just would hate to admit? Like, oh, I love bird watching. Like what would be something that people would just be like, Doug Stanhope loves that? Like what would you think?
Some of the television I watch is pathetic.
Really? Like what?
Like fucking wife swap and stuff.
My favorite episode of Wife Swap is the one where the fat kid that loves bacon. You ever see that one?
I probably have.
He's King Curtis. He's a little fat blonde-haired kid, and he's with the southern accent, of course, because they all have southern accents. All have fat one.
Could you be more specific, Mike?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Storage Wars. Dog the Bounty Hunter. I fucking hate it. Like, it just makes me fucking angry. And I'll watch. Like, I'll have my DVR full of them, and I'll watch them just back to back to back, and fucking hate this guy. And figure out how I could ruin his life and what I'd say to his fat fucking wife if I ever saw her in person. And there's like no enjoyment in it, and I'll sit there forever. It's just such empty hate. At least when I watched Dr. Drew, I got fucking 15 minutes out of it. Celebrity Rehab, at least it paid off in bits.
Yeah. Doug, if you
like, watch current hate shows like the Kardashians, where it can be relevant if I talk about it.
Too easy.
I'm watching old fucking 2006 shows. Even if I got a good bit out of it, I'd fucking date myself so badly.
Doug, if you like Storage Wars, I'll have to send you the link of my parody I did with my kids. I'm sure you'll love and think is adorable, called Closet Wars.
Jay, you got a movie script you want to send him to?
Can you sign the YouTube video and send it back to him?
Speaking
I'd love to see your parody.
And nothing you love more than kids do.
Yeah, children are fucking hilarious.
Talk about reality shows. Have you ever seen that one about these guys that build custom fish tanks? And it's an actual reality show.
No, but yeah, everyone's shitty job is a reality show.
Yep.
They take a American chopper shit. Or, fucking, the hogging is now like American hoggers. They work with fucking hog. And all they do is take some shitty job and they add an asshole. Like, you're not going to watch people fucking, welding parts unless one guy's a wicked dick to the other guys. I don't understand it.
We're dying for a series called American Podcast Wars that we could be the star of.
I'm sure it's coming.
Great, probably.
Art can be the dick.
Big
Fat Gypsy Wedding. Have you seen Big Fat Gypsy Wedding or American Gypsies?
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I thought like gypsies were the one minority everyone hated equally. Everybody was in on that.
I didn't even think they existed in America.
Do gypsies even around?
And I thought they were like Eastern European. But they're like Irish. I didn't even know that.
They call them travelers over there. But they actually travel over there. In the UK, they have, gypsy communities that are, like squatters. They just move all over the place. Over here, gypsy is like, a fucking unicorn. You think it's, or a Mayan.
Mayan.
They should throw a few gypsies in a zoo. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd pay to see that. A couple more things. We'll let you get going. Are you going to hit New York at all? Just out of curiosity?
No.
No.
Is that where you guys are?
Yeah, in New York area. Too important of a market to be working out new stuff?
Yeah, I don't like New York. I'm so happy that I don't have any cities I hate on my tour schedule or even planned.
Why do you hate New York?
Sitting in the van, just noticing how happy I am that there's no UK in my future. Like, as soon as I book the UK, I have just a constant hanging fog of dread that permeates my entire fucking soul. And every time I think, oh shit, I'll look at Delta.com and I'll check my flight, and it says 48 days till departure, and my stomach floods with acid, and I go, And I'm just so happy in life to not be going to the UK that it doesn't matter what else I am doing. The fact that I'm not going over there.
You go to Iraq,
not on
Afghanistan.
The book.
What about the UK you hate?
Every single second I'm there. I live in constant fear of I don't know what. Every day sucks. You count it down. We did 7 weeks there this spring with Henry Phillips. And, every single second was counting down till we could leave. And the last week we were staying in a hotel right beside the fucking tarmac to Heathrow, looking out your window, staring at planes, going 6.5 days. 5 days and 1 hour, and we're leaving.
That should be a new reality show, you and the UK.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't talk over there. I sit in the car quietly. I have no joy in me.
British Stanhope. Coming soon to Discovery.
How is this a fucking news story? American Airlines will deliver your fucking bags to your house. This is like for 2 days, every fucking half an hour. This is on CNN. Who gives a shit? I'm off topic.
It's all right. We really have no topic. Mike, Art, anything else?
Should definitely let him go. He seems bored.
Oh, I'm doing other stuff while we talk.
Oh, I know. Good to make
Fold
better.
Laundry.
What was the choice to do like old school jump in the van type punk rock touring this time?
Yeah, I did a couple years where I'd just fly to gigs. Like I'd book, a Thursday, Friday, Saturday in 3 different time zones and just get off a plane, tell jokes, get on a plane, tell jokes, then go home. And it was like just absolute no fun. Hanging out with other comics. Like all the fun parts of comedy were missing. Been a lot of frequent flyer miles. I got some airline status, but that doesn't really pay off in the long run. So now I'm with Junior Stopka, who's a fucking brilliant comic out of Chicago. You'll hear his name.
Right on.
Carlos Valencia, who I've worked with a bunch, and always funny. And Bingo, and my buddy Greg in a van.
Nice.
Driving around all these hillbilly towns.
Oh, man. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah. No way we're going to get through this without a story.
Yeah, totally.
What's like a normal day if you're not driving? What's a day off like?
Day off is just hangover.
Yeah.
Or if there's no show that night, it's day drinking.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love day drinking. What do you drink? What's your poison?
Thrift store. And if I'm not on stage, I'd vodka and anything. I change it up a lot.
Vodka and the nearest.
I try to do vodka soda or a vodka unsweetened iced tea for calorie purposes.
Yeah. Nice.
But day drinking, thrift storing, trying to find sushi.
Right on.
I don't have a lot of interests. I don't go to museums or anything. I'd much rather just talk. When you hang out with comics, you don't need to do shit.
No.
It's already fun.
Yeah, you're just laughing your balls off all day.
Finding good sushi in a landlocked state is probably an adventure in itself.
Yeah. But it cleans you out if it's bad.
True.
Sometimes
Makes you feel slimmer after your diarrhea.
Speaking of, there's something that I wanted to mention. You mentioned something about how you've been shitting a lot lately, but not in quantity, just in quality.
Yeah. I seem to shit like when I eat about the amount I ate.
Right. Yeah.
Like immediately after I eat, I just shit about that much. Like I might be backed up all the way to my stomach, so I can't hold anymore. So if I eat it, it has to be displaced immediately.
So you say you don't know what that problem is, and I have the exact opposite problem where I eat a little and I shit a lot, like a massive amount. What the hell's wrong with us?
That's weird. Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one to alarm anything, but Doug, that's what happened to my dog before we had to put it down. And I'm no doctor.
Drew.
Well, on that note,
yeah, more dead air.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Thanks a ton for talking to us.
All right, you what the fuckers?
No,
wrong podcast. Sorry.
Name dropper.
Yeah.
Name dropper now.
I wanted to start a podcast called What the Heck, and just do all that stuff up front and act like I'm completely oblivious to the notion that there's another one just like that called What the Fuck. Act like it's a giant mistake. Oh, I didn't know. Just came up with this idea.
Absolutely. Send us the audio.
Jackals.
Record it into your phone and send it, and we'll produce it for you.
What the hexagons?
Yeah, come down to Bisbee and set me up with a fucking podcast thing.
Let's do it.
We would do that for sure. So
I'll have JP Habersat set it up one day. When he's down next.
All right, there you have it, Doug Stanhope. Everybody, check out the CD's out now, and the special was on Showtime, and I believe it comes out on DVD in November before turning the gun on himself.
All right, I'm going to close on a name drop.
Sweet.
All right, man.
All right, Doug. Thanks, man.
All right, sir. Bye.
Take it easy. So there you have it, Doug Stanhope, everybody.
Love Doug Stanhope, dude. He's
I think the best was the cigarette story. That's great.
yeah. That's
yeah,
great.
it was so bizarre. I'm just sitting there at work. I'm in like a computer lab, like hooking up computers. My phone rings, and I see it's him because I texted him earlier. And he's like, "Hey, it's Stanhope. Who's got cheaper cigarettes, North Carolina or Tennessee?" I'm like, what? I don't know. I was like, you want me to Google it for you?
He's like,
yeah. And I'm like, all right, I guess he's just kind of a casual dude. You know, I texted him once. You know, he knows my friend.
That in and of itself is just a great sentence too. Like, I was sitting at work and Doug Stanhope called me asking me which were cheaper cigarettes. That and the Jake LaMotta thing. Jake LaMotta came over Sunday for football one time. Fucking great line. It's a great sentence.
You know, the guy's good when he just has like every story just rolls into the next story. That's you know, a good telltale sign of a great comic, because I mean, he just went into, you know, he came over and then like he saw a pair of boxing gloves, he signed them because Tanya Hardy. It was just seamless. Even the interview was just, you know, seamless with him. Besides him folding laundry, which was great.
If you haven't seen his specials, this new special's great. But if you haven't seen his old ones, I know he doesn't take much out of them, you know, personally, because everybody's their own worst critic. But they're awesome. They're fucking awesome. I tried to give him a compliment and I failed miserably. But he just waxes poetic. Like, it's just philosophical. He just it's like a lecture with jokes hidden in it. It's amazing. It really is amazing. He's one of the best stand-ups to watch. I love it.
He is, and like I said, you know, you don't want to kiss his ass to him, but he's going to go down as like a Bill Hicks type.
Oh yeah,
he
totally.
Just does not give a fuck. And like a lot of comics walk the walk but don't talk the talk. He's like, I'm out of here. He moves like to the middle of nowhere in Arizona. It's amazing. He doesn't, you know, go pop in and do sets here and there, work on material. He's like, oh, I'll go get in the van and we'll work out some stuff on the road, and I'm going to get hammered. And he drinks on stage, and it's just it's the best. Like, there's nobody like that anymore, and he just goes off. He doesn't care who he's offending. On that Oslo special, dude, he just like wrecked their whole country. It's like going off about their stupid like king and queen, and just and even on this new special, he's just going off on people, and like, they don't care. They love it. But he is, you know, him and Rogan both, you know, in a different way. You know, Rogan's more of that like deep thinker, like exploratory about like space and stuff. But he's just like, as far as like society goes, like nobody tells it like that. He speaks the truth, man, right? For real.
It's stoner talk versus drunk talk is basically what it is.